God, I look like hell. I sound like hell too. I'm Satan. It's late. I'm up. um, Welcome back once again, where I talk over an awesome movie and annoy the hell out of you with my obnoxious observations. Tonight we'll be watching Mad Max Fury Road, the third in our installment of watching the Mad Max movies. We eschewed the first one, watched Road Warrior, which, by the way, is now called Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. Didn't know that. Retcon name change. Along the way, we also then watched Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome. And I don't think any of us can really ever get beyond Thunderdome. We're all still dwelling on it, but we're doing our best. And now tonight, we're going to watch Fury Road. This is all in celebration of Furiosa weekend. This past weekend, Furiosa opened at the box office. We were going to check the numbers on that, see how it did. We're going to check the initial views and whatnot. And basically, we're going to see just how everything turned out. Oh boy, I already see we're suffering the web freezing issues. It's 1:18 here in the morning and Central Time. So, roughly 2:20 Eastern, etc. Do all the number adjustments yourself. Let's see here how Furiosa did this past week. Interesting. We'll talk about it as we get to it. But I thought we would watch Mad Max Fury Road tonight, the one that preceded Furiosa, the one that introduced us to the character of Furiosa. And it's playing on Max, as all of these are. Mad Max on Max. It's a Warner Brothers property. So you can find that streaming on Max. I'm sure you can probably find it streaming other places as well. But this one's exactly 2 hours and HBO claims it's 2 hours and 1 minute. Everybody else claims it's 2 hours. So if we get started here in a few minutes, we'll give it a few more minutes and then we'll get going. But this one's going to take us 2 hours. It'll be roughly 3:30 a.m., 4:30 a.m. Eastern time. So once again, Night Owl will be Night Owlin'. Mad Max Fury Road, the description is it came out in 2015. It's rated R. The only non-rated R one, well, I take that back. The first one was not rated. The second one was rated R. And then the third one, the Beyond Thunderdome, was PG-13. Let's double make sure that Road Warrior was, in fact, rated R. I believe it was. We will get to the bottom of that right now. It was rated R. That's what I thought. Lots of violence in that one. Oh, and some nudity. Yeah, there's some assault, that stuff that goes on. So, yeah, as I recall, that one's relatively violent. But the Tina Turner one was PG-13. I think that's probably why people didn't dig it as much. It was a little watered down at times. But big story. And this one's got a pretty decent story. Actually, it's got a very small story with little interesting nuggets along the way. So we'll talk about it as we go. The plot, as described by HBO Max, is fortified in a massive armored truck. Loner Mad Max joins Imperator Furiosa and her band of rebels as they try to outrun a warlord and his henchmen. Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. So yeah, we're going to give this a watch tonight. I just got done. Oh, hey, Ginger Ninja's here. Jason says, I'm feeling Mad Max. Welcome, Jason. It's always nice. We can't watch one of these Australian movies without having a representative from the country. So here he is. Thank goodness. How's it going, all? Welcome, Jason. Nice to see you, buddy. Jason, it's still the 28th of May, so Jason is still currently Horror YouTuber of the Month. So he's not only our Australian representative, he's our horror authority. Mayan says it's a party. Yeah. Don, Ginger, May. Oh, yeah. The three amigos back again. Mayan, once again, this one's going to be on Max for you. So I figure you may join along. Mayan's been here for the other two when we watched Road Warrior and last night Beyond Thunderdome. So she's a Mad Max enthusiast as well. This one is rated 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, which is pretty damn good. It is also, a 97% by the critics on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see what the audience gave it. And 86% by the audience. So that's pretty damn good. One of the higher rated movies we've watched here. She's getting set up. All right. I like to hear that, man. Fury Road is a visual spectacular. I agree. This came out in 2015. I didn't go see it at the theater. The idea of a Mad Max reboot left a bad taste in my mouth. Wasn't interested in it. But then word started to get back that this is one of the best car chase movies of all time. And it's like so visually spectacular and all this. I'm like, they're really selling me. And then when it got out on streaming, I watched it, and it was damn good. Everybody was right. I enjoyed it a lot. Even with I think the low expectations I started with, even I heard a bunch of people say it was good. It still ended up being good. Normally when people tell me everybody says it's that good, I won't like it. I don't know why. I just, nothing can live up to that expectation. But this somehow kind of does. It's sort of amazing in that way. The idea of replacing Mel Gibson with Tom Hardy sounded awful to me. The idea of adding a woman's sidekick sounded awful to me. Just across the board, it didn't sound like a good movie. And when I watched it, nope, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, we're going to give this one a watch tonight after some people's get set up. Ginger, where in Australia are you? My sister lives in New Zealand, but goes to Australia a lot. And I told her about you. Oh, trying to have Jason meet the sister, huh? Nice. I didn't know you had a sister in New Zealand, man. You got all sorts of interesting things going on in your life. Also, this movie is a 90% on Metacritic and 89% approval rate on Google. So that's pretty damn good. The average Google rating is a 4.5 out of 5. So it's pretty damn good. The description here is years after the collapse of civilization, the tyrannical Immortan Joe enslaves apocalypse survivors inside the desert fortress, the Citadel. When the warrior Imperator Furiosa leads the despot's 5 wives in a daring escape, she forges an alliance with Max Rockatansky, a loner and former captive. Fortified in the massive armored truck, the War Rig, they try to outrun the ruthless warlord and his henchmen in a deadly high-speed chase through the Wasteland. So, pretty damn impressive. Apparently, it says here the sequel to Fury Road was supposed to be Mad Max the Wasteland. Interesting. What do they say about that? Mad Max the Wasteland teaser trailer. What are you talking about? Is Mad Max the world is very much alive and it's in George's imagination, Guy Norris said. There's already another very well-developed project called Wasteland, and that was 3 days ago. So Mad Max Wasteland is a thing that is apparently coming. Tom Hardy. And it'll be the sequel to this. Nice to know. I didn't know that. We all learned something new here today. Oh, let's see here. We got all sorts of friends popping in. No, silly. I am silly. I'm in South Australia. Ooh, the good side. That's the good part of town. My sister is half Kiwi, Don. Her mom is from there. You're always laying new stuff on me, Mayan. You're always unfolding like a flower. Hey, Don, Mayan, Jason, Memorial Day. Fury Road is awesome. Juno 2000, welcome, my friend. Happy belated Memorial Day to you. Actually, by you, it might even still be Memorial Day. But glad to have you here, buddy. Juno's a sci-fi horror expert, so it's always nice to have him here. I wouldn't call this horror, but Juno's an expert nonetheless. Juno's an expert in a lot of stuff. He's an old soul. The box office of Furiosa is not doing good. It's flopping in Memorial Day weekend. Yeah, that's what I was going to talk about here. It's the weekend chart. It's currently sitting at 26 million. Generally, a big release on Memorial Day weekend roughly gets over 100, sometimes 200. So the idea that this is still floundering, well below 50. Let's see the full weekend chart for Furiosa. It is in 3,800 theaters, and it's currently only made 26.3 through last night. I don't know what Monday's numbers are going to be. Generally, a Monday number for a 3-day weekend is the same as when you do the numbers. Generally, whatever the number is Friday, you can just triple it. The Saturday number will be a little bit higher than the Friday number, but the Sunday number will be lower, so they'll balance out, and you'll get kind of a 3-day average that's basically the same as what it makes on Friday. So they often know how much a movie's going to make over the course of a weekend just on Friday afternoon. But the Memorial Day weekend, the extra day, I don't know what that tallies on. You just quadruple it, but either way, 26 million is pretty damn hurting for a big major blockbuster Memorial Day weekend release. Hello all. Sean 420, welcome, sir. Nice to have you here. Yeah, The Wasteland is the next installment, bringing back Tom Hardy. Interesting. So they split them up after this, huh? They gave each one of them a story. Furiosa, her prequel, and then Tom Hardy gets a sequel. Hit the like button, kids. Thank you, Mayan. Wreck and shop for us here. Juno knows everything except how to change a battery. Ooh, it's getting ugly. JK Juno. Sean 420 says he loves all the Road Warrior movies. Yeah, in general, I always think of the first one as my least favorite, and then I'd watched it relatively recently, but all of them I hold high regard. So I decided not to do the first one, and I'm kind of regretting it. I almost wish we'd watched all four of them now, since this trip has been a fun ride for us all. Fury Road did us, audience. Let Mad Max films feel looking at Sideline Max, and they didn't do that. It was a huge surprise. Yeah, I was definitely caught off guard by this one. I really didn't think the plot or any of it sounded like a good idea to me. It was like, well, we're gonna reboot Mad Max, and we're gonna have Tom Hardy replace Mel Gibson, and Charlize Theron's gonna be in there, and it just didn't sound like anything I was excited for, but it turned out to be awesome. So I'm watching this one, like I said, on Max tonight. I've got it all queued up and ready, so I'm gonna have a drink, and then we're gonna get started on this bad boy. All right. I often complain that movies are too long. I like a good 90-minute, but if you can keep it at 2 hours or under, I'm generally happy. This one is exactly 2 hours. So George Miller, he knows what's up. But that being said, let's see here. Everybody all settled in. Nice. I'm going to go ahead and press play on this. Like I said, I'm watching it on Max, or also known as HBO Max. So we'll go 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait a minute. That's the info. Never mind. Hold on that one. Abort mission. Abort mission. All right. Now 3, 2, 1. Watch now. All right. There's a little scrolly, circly thing. Let me know computers be working. A commercial for House of the Dragon Season 2. Interesting. Did you guys see they're making a Dune show that's coming out this fall? I think I'd heard about it, but I always hear these projects announced and I never believe them until I actually see footage. And the Dune show looks good. It looks very Game of Thrones-ish. It's all about like the houses of the Harkonnen and all that. And, it's a very Game of Thrones ripoff look kind of thing. Kind of interesting. So there's the damn commercial, and there's the HBO fanfare movie presentation. That's so cool. The Warner Brothers logo in the forged metal, all rusted out. Village Roadshow in metal, all rusted out. This one is a very complex movie. I often talk about how movies need to be both, right? They need to appeal to an audience and make the audience, excited, make a bunch of money and everything, but it also needs to appeal to critics. So you have to do things that are artsy and thoughtful and intelligent, but you also have to do things that are fun and cool and just make people happy when they're at the movies. So this one is one of the few that really does both. It's a very simple, basic car chase plot. It's pretty easy to follow what's going on. You don't need not a lot of twists and turns, except for literal one twist and turn, then where they come back. But other than that, there's also like little teeny plots of world building, which I think Beyond Thunderdome did really well. It had lots of small pockets of society that had sprung up, and you could learn their little stories, but you also got to follow the main one. Here's the beginning. We open up on Max, and he's basically when I first saw it, I considered him as having like some sort of schizophrenic episode. Like he's basically losing it. You can see he's been living in his car in the middle of nowhere. His car's all beat to hell at this point. We talked about like in last night's movie with Beyond Thunderdome, where the world keeps evolving. The first Mad Max, the society's just started to collapse, and then by the Road Warrior, things have really broken down and people are wearing leather outfits and it's just gone to hell as scavengers and looters and everything have taken over. But then by Beyond Thunderdome, little cities are starting to spring up and people have aspirations of starting society anew and all that. So here we are 30 years later from Beyond Thunderdome. I don't know how much the time is supposed to have gone by in this movie or where it's supposed to fall in the canon. And we're already off. Here shows a bunch of Outland dudes here to chase Max. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 motorcycles, and 2 pickup trucks, a dune buggy, 3 muscle cars. Yeah, that's about what you need. Sean is watching the Black and Chrome. Yeah, we talked about this last night with the Black and Chrome edition for Mad Max. They a a lot of films, they will release a secondary release in black and white, or adjusted to have a black and white feel. And Mad Max Fury Road is one of the ones they do that for. And a lot of folks really like it in black and white. I saw it once in black and white. I like them both. Looking at the color on this, it is pretty visually spectacular, but remembering in black and white, it has a grainy, gritty, like the movie. It feels dirty and dingy. It's artsy fartsy. Yeah, at moments it is. It's essentially, when George Miller made this, he wanted to make a silent film. So there's, incredibly low amount of dialogue overall. Weird when Max steps on a bug, that talking like a kid. Yeah, it is indeed weird. So Max, when we meet him here, he's got full head of hair, big beard. You can tell he's been living out in the wasteland on his own, not taking care of himself. And same thing kind of happens before Beyond Thunderdome. We meet Max and he's got the long, crazy hair. So here they cut his hair off after they've captured him. And they put like this, they go to tattoo him or whatever, brand him as being property, and Max escapes. So we're at the not even 5-minute mark. It's 4 minutes and 40 seconds. There's already been a car chase, and Max has been captured and is now escaping from the bad guys. Good use of fast motion there. This one in particular uses a lot of like sped up motion to make things look fast and anxious, and a lot of times sped up motion looks comical, but in this it plays to a good anxiety. So I don't know. So what is Mad Max about? Actually, that's a good question. Over these movies we've been watching, I've really kind of fallen back in love with Max Rockatansky. As a hero, he's awesome. Like he's essentially Han Solo, Snake Plissken, Angel Face, whatever the old Clint Eastwood cowboys. He's a guy that's on his own. He's a loner. He wants to like look out for himself. He's got a self-styled like kind of pirate or whatever, but he keeps falling into the trap of helping people. And whenever he helps other people, that's usually kind of his weakness, is that he's kind. But ultimately, at the end of these movies, he helps the people. They get away or they're okay. He wants them to be safe. But he never really ends up rich because of it, or it's not like there's some big, gasoline gain because of it. He just sort of does the right thing and it all works out, but he doesn't end up any better for it. So as far as a hero goes, he's pretty awesome because he acts like he's unwilling, but he knows damn well what he's doing. He's helping these people because he cares, even though he likes to think that he doesn't care. So this is dope. He jumps out of a cliff, of the side of the cliff. He's escaping and he's going to jump off the side, and he grabs onto a dangling crane hook and swings there, and they drag him back inside, and we get the big chrome Mad Max Fury Road. I was afraid this was going to be super digital when I saw it. Like I thought it was going to be a lot of chroma key, like green screen background stuff. And there's a little bit, but Furiosa looks like it's real heavy with that. That's my only concern with it. Like that shot right there, that was a lot of CGI, but there was a ton of extras as well. Let's see here. Fury Road did have some CGI, but it used practical action scenes. Yeah, that's the thing I like about these movies, is they use stuntmen a lot. Like when we were watching Death Proof, we were talking about that's kind of the charm of Death Proof, is that that there's no fakery going on. Like there's somebody really on top of a car going that fast, and that's how these are. You get the sense that the people are really putting themselves in danger in a lot of these stunts. I can actually watch along. Nice. We have it on Netflix there. Oh, sweet. I'm watching the Black and Chrome. Yeah, Black and Chrome is dope. It's artsy fartsy. It's weird. Max or something. What is Max about? Humongous men are into S&M stuff, especially the West character. Yeah, the like I said, when society collapses, people start letting their freak flag fly. It's like, I've always wanted to be a gay biker. Might as well go ahead and live that gay biker lifestyle now. I always liked the Village People before the collapse of the world, so I might as well go that whole Village People route. I love them when we get to see Immortan Joe's world, like like inside his cave. He's got like almost an oasis. There's water and trees and stuff. So, but you can see the people on the ground are poor and dirty and begging for water. Some of the science of this one is a little bit weird, where they're like inventing mechanical, like medical devices and stuff. Strange ways to keep people alive. I believe that's Nathan Jones, the professional wrestler / bank robber. I think he's like this big, huge guy. Most people remember him. He's the dude in Troy that Brad Pitt fights, and then he jumps up and stabs him with the dagger real quick, or the sword real quick. I am your redeemer. It is by me the hand of you will rise from the ashes of this world. Yeah, that's definitely CGI, or else that's like 15,000 extras. But once again, really cool, innovative camera shots. George Miller's amazing with the camera. We cut to a shot of like a guy looking through old dirty binoculars, just to give us the perspective of the people on the ground. Lots of weird ashes and embers floating around. I'm assuming those were added in post, but they look kind of amazing. And there's where Joe drops all this water on people. He opens up like a waterfall, and just they all come running with their buckets. And that's like his way of being benevolent. Like he just dumps all this water on them, and they can go down and gather it up. Do you know how much you're wasting? But he comes off as like this like Moses Messiah guy standing there above all this water pouring down, and with his arms all raised, looking like a heroic god. Let's see here. It's certainly either before or after Beyond Thunderdome, as he starts out with the long hair in both. That's what I was wondering. Well, because if it's supposed to be a bunch of years after Thunderdome, I can understand how you would grow it back. But yeah, I was wondering if this fell maybe before Thunderdome. Let's find out. Fury Road is, let's see if Wikipedia gives us any answer anyways. It's the fourth installment. Fury Road follows Max Rockatansky, Imperator, the cult leader. Set in a post-apocalyptic desert. Yeah, we know all that. Came up with the idea for Fury Road in '87, but it was in development hell before production began in 1998. And then attempts to shoot the film in the 2000s were delayed, primarily because of September 11th, the Iraq War, controversy surrounding Mel Gibson. Miller decided to pursue the film in 2007. Hardy was cast in 2010, principal photography, yada, yada. Rockatansky, a survivor haunted by memories of all the people he failed to protect, which is funny because, like I say, his whole thing is that he ends up protecting people and saving them. He helped the folks at the end of part 2, and he helped the folks in part 3, the kids and Blaster, or Master. Sorry, I always get Master and Blaster flip-flopped. Immortan Joe's Citadel is imprisoned in a blood bag for Nux, a sick war boy. Yeah, that's the whole plot of this one, is that basically he's a blood bag for one of the sick boys. They capture healthy people and steal their blood. But no, I couldn't tell exactly from the plotting of where it was supposed to fall. I know there's a Borderland movie coming out, and it doesn't look interesting, but we already got a Borderland movie, the Mad Max films. Yeah, I don't know, Borderland, I'll be interested to see if it's good or not. So there's Furiosa driving the war rig. I'm curious in the new movie if they explain why she wears the black thing on her head. I'm assuming it's just part of the whole sick boys type of thing or whatever. She's one of Joe's lieutenants, and she's supposed to trade produce for petrol. Yada yada. No, it doesn't explain where it falls in the universe. So I'm assuming after Beyond Thunderdome then. Yeah, this past weekend, like we were talking about, Furiosa kind of struggled at the box office. I think a lot of people had the same concerns that a lot of us had, where we had a hard time adapting to the new people, and then now they're giving us new people. So it's like, yeah, it's a prequel to a reboot. You're asking a lot from the audience for that. But I'm hoping that a bad weekend of it doesn't affect Wasteland. I would assume not, if 3 days ago they said that there's a full script for it. But this one takes, and I kind of mentioned it with the other ones, this one really learns from the other three. Like it takes all the important, cool, interesting things and all the little weird subplots and stuff, and makes an entire movie out of that stuff rather than trying to have some sort of, traditional story. There we see Immortan Joe's collection of, I don't know, milkmaids or whatever. They're all hooked up to milking machines, and he's producing babies by the ton. Which, like I say, is kind of cool. It's not totally needed for the story, but it's interesting that's his whole existence. He's like this king who's gathering up all the women. He's got these concubines, and he's making children, and he's got this huge army of muscle-bound goons. Jinzo 2400 says cheers. Welcome, Jinzo. Nice to see you here. Lemonia says hello, everyone. Hello, Lay. Nate says Don Mega. Welcome, Nate. Folks are saying hello to everybody. I'm at 8:20. Let me see where I'm currently at. I'm at 14:31 at the moment, but I'm sure we will get caught up or lined up. Hey, Lamonia. Hey, Juno. Theory that Immortan Joe is actually Toe Cutter from the first film. Really? Yeah, I know that there's been fan theories or different plotting theories that so-and-so from, the first movie is this person or whatever. But then I get confused because last night at the very end, we were talking about how the gyro captain from the second one isn't supposed to be Jebediah, the plane guy from in Beyond Thunderdome. And it's like, well, why the hell would you even do that character then? That doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, we got a guy who's just like the guy from the other movie, and it's played by the same guy from the other movie, and he does all the same stuff, but it's a totally different guy. Okay. So some of the concurrent storyline, whatever, the long-running, long stretched-out storytelling, but the short little bursts of chapters in these movies are amazing. Great use of color here, though. Yeah, that's the only knock I would say against the black and white is this movie really does use color well. Like while they're in the caves and it's blue, and then we cut to outside and it's orange and hot, and lots of in Beyond Thunderdome, they show everything's at golden hour. For some reason, they either only drive in the early morning or the late afternoon. Same actor, so a lot of people think they're the same. There you go. That would make sense if it was the same actor. That's the same dude for this Toe Cutter, huh? Wow, interesting. Let's find out. Immortan Joe's filmography. Hugh Keys Byrne plays Immortan Joe. I always struggle with that word. I don't know why that one's a tough one for me. Hugh Keys Byrne is been in 51 films. Nice. Or he's got 51 credits, I should say. He directed one thing. Good for him. His first film was in 1967. Oh, he was on a TV show called Bellbird. Boy Meets Girl, Stone, Essington, Man from Hong Kong, Ben Hall, Rush, Mad Dog Morgan, Trespassers, The Outsiders TV series. The Cake Man, Chopper Squad, Say You Want It, Death Train, Bluefin, Mad Max. Yeah, there he was, Toe Cutter, same guy. The Day After Halloween, Barnaby, Chain Reaction, Going Down, Secret Valley, 5 Mile Creek, Strikebound, Lorca Outlaws, Runaway Island, Birkin Law, For Love and Law, Kangaroo, Treasure Island, Badlands 2005, Dada is Death, Blood of Heroes, Moby Dick, Huntsman 5.1, Farscape, Sleeping Beauty, and Mad Max Fury Road. Interesting. I was not familiar with the work of Hugh Keys Byrne until now. And I'd recommend if you're Hugh Keys Byrne, go to the doctor and get some penicillin. So here the rig is out running, and all the other vehicles are kind of running with it. And there's the one giant. I love I don't even know how you describe it. Is it like a concert vehicle or something? The guy on the front with the guitar, the double guitar, bass guitar thing with the flames and all of it, and then the big drummers on the back as they drive and all that. Like it's so like grandiose and majestic. Like it's a bunch of dudes driving around in cars, but it feels like a big, huge parade. So they got Mad Max on the strap to the front of the car, like how they did in Road Warrior. The two dudes strapped to the front, same gig. Like I said, they learned from Road Warrior what worked. And they were like, you know what was cool? When we had those two guys on pikes on the front of the car, that was neat. It's like, all right, let's do that with Max this time. And you can tell in this transfer, you can tell the flames coming out of the exhausts on the cars are CGI. But the cars on the low angle shots are clearly practical. This all looks like it was shot with a drone, maybe? That's kind of cool. But all this, we were talking about Return of the Jedi last night too. This feels like it's got Return of the Jedi things, like when they're on the war barge and all the guys are riding along the sand and they've got guns everywhere. This has kind of got that same vibe to it. But this also has Lawrence of Arabia and a million other things that it builds upon. Hi, kids. Half here. Echo, nice to see you, buddy. Echo was with us last night for the watch along of Beyond Thunderdome. Echo's a certified Mad Maxian. Where's the other half? Which one? Me? Nathan Jones was cool in this film. His acting was much better than his flop wrestling career. I always wanted him to be a good wrestler. He looked impressive in the ring, but yeah, I don't think he was very strong, or he was a very talented at wrestling. I don't think he knew how to be gentle with people. What was his story with bank robberies? As I recall, he was primarily known for being a criminal. Is that right? Before his wrestling career, Jones was sentenced to 16 years in 1987 at the age of 21 for 8 armed robberies between 85 and 87, 2 of which occurred in Tasmania. During the robberies, he became one of Australia's most wanted and ended up serving 7 years in a maximum security prison. In 94, Jones was given 1-year work release before being discharged at 28. While in prison, he was introduced to the sport of powerlifting. He began taking steroids at this time. Within a short space of time, he became the national powerlifting champion of Australia. He's 6'10", 345 pounds. Yeah, he's huge. But he is a good, a heavy, literally, to stand by the bad guy in this. Man, we are at, holy cow. Yeah, that's the thing with this movie. We're at the 20-minute mark, and just, it is all out mayhem and chaos. The car chase is already going on. They're throwing flaming spikes into these cars, and there's a big explosions. There goes a car that got flipped. That car is dope. The one that has all the weird, rusty swords coming off it, so it looks like a porcupine. This one, a lot of the vehicles have that porcupine sort of impregnable look. Lay echo pap 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 pap. Nate Jones is the dumbass who thought it was funny to be in an airport and make a joke about having a bomb. Well, there you go. Then again, he is kind of humongous. I bet it took 8 guys to arrest him. Hey girl, did you bring Mike Hunt with you? Oh Jesus. Mike Hunt is mad, girl. Oh no, why? I think it needs some love. This metaphor is falling apart. You can't neglect Mike Hunt. Mayanne told me that Mike Hunt would be in the chat tonight, and I said, well, Mike Hunt has great taste. Everybody, good job. Yeah, okay, absolutely, Mayanne. LOL, everybody laughing. Lucifer was an angel as well. I guess he was. Jinzo says angel. True dat. This chase sequence is insane and badass with Immortan Joe Menz after Furiosa and the Doof Warrior playing the rock music as a psychological warfare. Yeah, a lot of armies, when they go into battle, they would bring a drumming corps, and a lot of times it was even for the soldiers marching to have a rhythm to march to and stuff. So with this, like I say, it's almost a parade of everything. There's this huge, there's a music vehicle that's jamming out and playing the war drums and everything, but then there's also this insanity of these vehicles slamming into the war rig and all these chains and spikes and crazy guns, and these folks have really started to turn into Tusken Raiders almost. They look crazy. Hello. Jinzo, welcome, Jinzo. We appreciate having you here. One of Immortan Joe's wives was the red hair one, is married to the actor who played Dude Warrior guitar guy. Oh, interesting. No way Morton Joe could be Toe Cutter. Just look how Toe Cutter died. Well, that's what I would assume. I always got a kick out of Toe Cutter's eyes right before the rig hit him and ran him over. His eyes just popped right out of his skull before the rig even touched him. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of fan theories about stuff. They sort of make sense and they sort of make the movie fun, but then they're also sort of often disprovable. This movie seeing Charlize Theron's arm, she's got like this mechanical arm. And one of the many, many things that I think is kind of interesting and cool about this movie and the way it's set up from a story and all that, this is a lot like Big Trouble in Little China or The Green Hornet or whatever. This movie's basically the Charlize Theron movie. Like Furiosa's helping these brides escape. You could really just watch a movie about that. But Max like joins up with them and helps. Like I mentioned, he's frequently a Han Solo type character. So even though he kind of gets thrown into this situation with this whole blood bag thing that he's caught up in right now. Sorry, Mad Max and Furiosa just gave each other the eyes. So we know there's a connection there. But yeah, she's kind of the hero of this movie, and he aids her in what she's doing. Like he's not necessarily the main hero. He's kind of the co-hero. And Furiosa, I think part of the reason they wanted to make a movie about her is she clearly has an interesting past. Like, how did she get to be one of Morton Joe's general or lieutenants? What happened with the robot arm? You know, she's clearly lived an interesting life. All of these spears being thrown into the engines and the huge explosions that happen from them are like amazing, I don't know, action fireworks spectacles. Oh, let's see here. Nathan Jones has been in a few other horror movies in Australia. Let's see what else Nathan Jones has done. I'm sure he must be in here. There he is. He's Rictus Erectus. The people in Mad Max movies have the best names. Max Rockatansky. Charlize Theron is Imperator Furiosa. Nux. Toast the Knowing is Zoe Kravitz. Toast the Knowing. Wow. Hugh Keysburn is Immortan Joe. Josh Hellman plays Slit. Nathan Jones plays Rictus Erectus. Rosie Huntington Whitley plays Splendid Angahard. Riley Keough plays Capable. Abby Lee plays the Dag. Courtney Eaton plays Cheeto the Fragile. I'm a bit of a fragile Cheeto myself. John Howard plays the People Eater. Richard Carter plays the Bullet Farmer. Iota plays the Doof Warrior. Yeah, that's what Juno let us in on. Angus Sampson is the Organ Mechanic. Melissa Jaffer is the Keeper of Seeds. Let's see here. Nathan Jones. What else has he been? Nathan Jones has 27 credits. Good for him. Oh, yeah, I see a bunch of these I recognize. If you need a big, tall, strong guy, he's down. He was in Doom Runners, First Strike, a bunch of WWE stuff. He was in Troy, as I mentioned. The Protector, Fearless, The Condemned with Stone Cold. Muay Thai Giant. He was in Conan the Barbarian, the remake with Jason Momoa. Mad Max Fury Road. Never Back Down, No Surrender. A Flying Jet. He was in Boar, Boar. He was in Like Flynn. He was in Scorpion King, the Book of Souls. Never heard of that one. I wonder what number of Scorpion King that is. Probably like the 5th or 6th installment. Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. He was in the Mortal Kombat movie as Reiko. And he's in Furiosa as Rictus Erectus. Okay, interesting. Apparently Nathan Jones be working. Good for him. Glad he's turned his life around after that whole armed robbery thing. So as this whole movie is, we're still in the middle of a damn car chase. And that's the great thing about this movie. I mentioned it's both complex because there's a lot of little things to take interest in and learn about, a lot of world building, a lot of like little tiny things to dig into if you're a big fan. But it's also a basic ass movie where these people drive one way and they turn around and drive back the other way. And the whole movie is just a action-packed car chase. Lots of quick cuts. I could see when Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron made this movie, both of them thought it was going to be terrible. They were like, we didn't understand what was going on. George Miller didn't really communicate well to us. So we would just be like, get in a car and drive fast that way. Okay, now look left, real angry. And, so then later on when they cut it all together and you see the finished product, you understand most of these shots only last for seconds at a time. And, the geography when you're not within the story is probably very confusing. Here's a whole bunch of CGI, but it's pretty damn cool. There's like this huge storm in the middle of the desert while they're blazing through it with their vehicles, and you can see like not water spouts, but basically like sandstorm spouts, I guess. But there's all this cool lightning that looks like fire, and oh wow, yeah, Furiosa's really running things here. The blue and the orange together, visually appealing. Wow, that was amazing. The car got sucked up into the sky and lightning struck it, and all the bad guys were floating around in the sky and got blown around in the storm. Looks like some Wizard of Oz shit. And Tom Hardy as Mad Max still has the Hannibal Lecter muzzle on, except his looks very like gladiator-ish. Nathan Jones was in that creature feature Boar. Juno knows. Did anybody see Boar? I'm assuming Juno did. I thought maybe Macabro did. And Charles Farm from the same director. Yeah, I saw Charlie's Farm was on there. I'd never heard of that one either. 2014 as Charlie's Wilson. Yeah, I'm unfamiliar with Charlie's Farm. I was in the crowd at WrestleMania 19. Jones was meant to team up with Undertaker, but instead it was Taker versus Big Show and A-Train with Jones making a run in at the end of the match to help the Taker win. That was about the time I wasn't watching. In WrestleMania 19, yeah, that was about the time I wasn't watching. I did watch WrestleMania XX, so I don't know. Maybe I only saw a little bit of Nathan Jones. Was that brand split era? We wouldn't have Fallout if it wasn't for Mad Max. That's the problem. No, I think a bunch of stuff is stolen from Mad Max, Fallout, Borderlands, all the stuff we were talking last night, the Italian 80s movies, all these like post-apocalyptic loner on a motorcycle kind of thing. Yep, I love Boar. Great creature feature. I never saw Boar. But I always love a good monster movie. You tell me there's a wild pig out there attacking people, I'm interested. So we finally got a break in the action. This movie, one of the things it does is it knows it's barreling, like beating down on you with so much action that after a while you become numb to it. So it has to take breaks. So this is one of the breaks in action where basically all these cars have been wrecked and damaged and Mac's been thrown off and he's just laying in the sand and he's kind of coming to. But a great shot, like the way the screen is cut and then his body coming out of the sand and the blue sky against the orange sand. So it looks, we always talk about blue and orange. Those are the colors that the human eye responds to. Teal and tangerine, more specifically. So he pulls out the hook that for his blood bag thing so people can't steal his blood anymore. And he realizes he's handcuffed old buddy. Nux. Let's see here. That's Nux's lantern. Nicholas Holter's Nux. So here he's trying to get himself unchained from him. And he's trying to blow it off with a shotgun, and he can't blow off the dude's wrist because the gun doesn't work. It misfires. So it's almost like this comical moment where he's like trying to, it's almost a dark comedy where now he's going to bite through the guy's hand and he's gnawing at it, trying to chew it off. Because, what's he going to do? Be chained to this dude out here in the middle of the desert and die? Let me see here. I love Boar, great creature feature. I feel dizzy after all of that. Yeah, this one is like non-stop action. What are we at now? We're at the break. We're at the 33-minute mark. So it's a 2-hour movie. So at the half-hour mark, we take a break. It pretty much just started with action. You know, he stomped on that lizard, and we were off and running. So now we get our first kind of well, we had a little bit of break up there when Immortan Joe dropped the water on everybody, but even that was mild world building. And this is kind of, there was a famous Tales from the Crypt episode where a guy had to lug another guy's dead body through the desert, you know, sort of a like a punishment for his crime. And this is sort of the same deal. Like Max has this, you know, this sickly dude's fireman's carried across his shoulders. And when he walks around the war rig, there's all the stolen concubines all washing themselves off, looking like a mirage. The stolen concubine characters are interesting to me because there you can see their chastity belts have teeth on them across the fun parts. But in most movies, we talked about this before, because with Hitchcock, there's basically the people in the movie have some sort of goal that they're trying to accomplish. You know, they're either trying to do something or they're trying to get something. And often the thing that they're trying to get, the inanimate object, is called a MacGuffin. It's the thing in that the people in the movie care about, but you don't really care about. It's just sort of the engine, you know. So like in Pulp Fiction, that briefcase, it doesn't really matter what's in it. It's just the fact that everybody wants it, and because of that, they're all chasing around for it. You know, in Raiders of the Lost Ark, obviously the Lost Ark is the MacGuffin. Or you know, in 50 different movies, you can just kind of figure out, okay, this is what matters to these people in this movie, even though I don't really care. So the MacGuffin in this movie is these brides. So you actually kind of do care about them because they're living human beings. And they're also, it falls into the old horror movie thing I talk about, where nobody's life is more valuable than a beautiful woman. It's like, you know, they're still able to produce children. They got a whole life ahead of them. It seems like they could probably have, you know, get anything they want. You know, life is probably sweet for them. So it sucks when some axe murderer is chasing them or whatever. So the idea that these beautiful women are trapped, it's like immediately Max wants to sort of help them. Well, right now he wants to get this damn muzzle off. And of course, they're all supermodels. Like we saw the milkmaids and all the people of this world. Everybody's all sickly and their teeth are falling out and like they look like hell. But you know, they're all supermodels, literally. Like they don't have much acting to do, so most of them are famous models or notoriously beautiful actresses. There, Max is trying to get the chain off, and he wants one of the virgin brides or whatever, one of the concubine theirs, to help him get out. And in the distance, we can see the bad guys are coming to get him. So we're about to start the action back up. And before she can get uncut, Furiosa spears him. That's good form. That was better than Edge. Or what's his name? Adam Copeland. And now, man, this is interesting. Not very often your hero of a movie gets into a wrestling match with a woman. But Furiosa's no ordinary woman. She's pretty badass. She beating the hell out of Max. With one arm. A little bit of fast motion there in the fight, but it added to the tension. That's good CGI on Charlize's missing arm. Like at no part does it look fake. It's not like a weird tuck or nothing, you know? It's nice that they took a break from the car chase scene so we could have a fist fight with a chain and a bunch of weapons, and then we can hurry up and get back in these cars and start driving again. Action-packed. And whenever Max has things going on, little flashbacks occur in his brain. So even there, like while he was wrestling, he had like a flashback of things that have happened in his past. There, Charlize is beating Max's ass. But to be fair, Max does have a muzzle and a chain on him, so that's not quite totally fair. So she's beating the hell out of him with a water hose. You ever been smacked in the face with a nozzle? And finally, Max subdues Furiosa and puts a gun to her head and shows that he means business. But he doesn't totally mean business because he didn't kill her. Glory me, blood bag. Yeah, the dialogue of these people and the you can kind of see like how their brains work, the whole thing, like where these bald dudes, they all believe in going to Valhalla painted in chrome, and they spray paint their mouths and all that stuff. Like a whole world exists that we don't really know anything about, and we can kind of learn if we care, but otherwise it don't matter. The car chases and the fighting is still going to go on. Nux is an interesting character in this. I think he kind of replaces like the Gyro Captain character, or Jebediah from the third one or whatever. Well, Jebediah doesn't really have anything to do in the third one. He's just sort of there. But in this one, yeah, Nux is important, and he sort of feels both like an ally and an enemy to Max. And now Max is going to steal the war rig and leave these chicks stranded out here in the middle of the desert with the bad guys coming. But of course he's not, because it's Max. This is also interesting to me too, because Charlize Theron is often considered like, one of the more beautiful women in the world. Like, she's this big, glamorous, beautiful movie star who walks red carpets and all this. But in this, like, she's the savior of the pretty women. Like, she's supposed to be like someone who's trying to help these young girls get saved and be okay. And, she's total, I don't know, ugly down or whatever. But she's still very likable. I like the arm painted on the side of the war truck. Yeah, that was cool. For a second ago when we showed Max behind the wheel of the vehicle, he looked out the window and you can see there's like a skeleton arm painted on the door of the car, so it looks like somebody's got their arm out the window, but it's a skeleton. She also did Monster. Yeah, I was just thinking about that when I was talking about her getting uglied up. Like, that was when she really wanted to demonstrate she was an actress and she wasn't just a pretty face. And she killed it with Monster. She got rewarded real well with lots of like awards, recognitions, and things. But to me, I enjoy most of her movies. She's kind of she's the eye candy, and in this, she's the one who saves the eye candy. Like, I don't know, it's an interesting evolution for her character. And I enjoy that her and Tom Hardy have kind of her and Max have a bit of a rapport, and it's sort of insinuated they sort of like each other or are falling for each other, but there is no love story to this. We get little glances here and there and looks of trust and things, but there isn't any involved love story between them. Replaces her lost arm. Oh yeah, for the missing one. Yeah, she's got that robot arm. She did Monster. We don't know who Monster is, but Kinky. Wow, don't know who Monster is, but Kinky. Oh, she did Monster. Oh, I get it. What you're saying there, Echo. You and your wordplay. Is that the can of energy drink? Ouch. Yeah, nobody wants to do a monster like that. That would be ouch indeed, Ginger Ninja. Yeah, for sure. I want to know, how did Immortan Joe get all these like, he's clearly got somebody making logos for him. Like, all the steering wheels have his symbol on it, and the inside of this car, or the inside of the wagon or war vehicle, has all this stuff on the inside of it. You can see like all the detail. There's poor Nux realizing he's in the middle of the desert with them abandoning him. They point out like one of the concubines ends up catching a stray bullet in the shootout, and they're like, "Oh, if there was out of all the ones to get shot, it has to be her leg. She's his favorite." Yeah, the visual spectacle of this, as you referred to it earlier, I believe Jinja said it was. It's this thing like an every shot looks interesting. There's very few shots that are just sort of filler. There's always something to like kind of delve into. I've seen this it's probably my 5th time seeing it. I think I watched it the first time when I first saw it, and then some movies right away when they're done, I hit replay on. Either because I'm getting ready to go to sleep right afterwards, and it's like, oh, well, I need something on for noise. I'll just put this on again. Or other times I watch it and I think, oh, I have a few things to do as soon as this is over, but as long as I'm doing stuff and want background noise, I'll throw the same movie on again. So I watched this one back to back the first time I saw it. And then later on, I think I watched it again because I was thinking about how good it was. And then I watched the black and chrome, the black and white version, because I had heard how good, interesting that was. And I was like, I'm down for Mad Max Beyond or Fury Road again. So yeah, this is probably my 5th time, I think, seeing it. Can't believe it's almost 10 years old. Came out in 2015. Feels like this is the new Mad Max movie. Once again, we get awesome framing. She's looking through a little periscope thing or whatever, the telescope. And we can see the bad guys coming, and she can see them all in crystal perfect clarity. There's Max trying to get his damn muzzle off. Let's see here. That would be ouch indeed. Man laughed. Yeah, guys, don't be doing freaky stuff with cans of Monster. Do whatever you need with Red Bulls. They're much thinner. So there she got her robot arm back. And there's already a bit of an alliance formed here between Max and Furiosa. He's going to go and climb across the top. A lot of this feels like old school, like train movies, when people would like, there'd be stuff going on top of a moving train, and they would have to like get out on the roof and walk and fight. And lots of times, like in the Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, there's that whole train sequence and stuff. That's how a lot of this feels like. It's almost like we're on a train heist, or the constant motion and having to walk and navigate things that are in motion adds a lot of tension to what's going on. I don't understand I guess they're just like little places to sit, but like on top of the tanker in back there, they've got like old VW bugs like welded onto the top of them, and I think they're just like observatory, like stations to sit in. They're basically like little huts on top of it to do lookout from or something. But that's the amazing part of this movie, is just all the little crazy stuff that they never explain, but if you kind of look at it, you're like, okay, I think I understand how their world works. So Nux busted in through the bottom and attacked Furiosa, and she pulled out the knife out of the gear shifter, because even in this world, the damn gear shifter's a weapon. Tom Hardy says one of his first lines in the whole damn movie, he's like, oh, you got friends. I wonder, out of everybody, I bet Nux has the most dialogue. I don't think Mike Hunt could fit a monster can. Damn it, Mike. Well, with lots of lube and a sledgehammer, he can't. A sledgehammer. See, this is Echo. This is why you're a popular guy. I guess anything is possible if you believe hard enough. And that's my sick moment of the night. Thank you, Echo. Proud of you. Yeah, we are proud of you, Echo. LOL. Thank you, man. It's 2:16 in the morning my time, so I think we're allowed. We're into the part of the evening where we can figure out how to get monster cans into. Never mind. A bunch of these scenes, they look like matte paintings, but I'm assuming they're probably CGI. Part of the charm of the original ones, the first trilogy, is all the real everything. This one's got a fair amount of CGI, but not enough where it's annoying. It's usually used to add to a scene rather than to create a scene. Mhm. So they're pulling back in. What's this, Bullet Town or whatever? Whatever you do, you can't be seen. I'm supposed to be alone. That was the deal. It's so crazy. A bunch of this dialogue is in all caps in the captions. I guess everybody's screaming. This one made at the box office. It cost, holy crap, 154 to 185 million dollars to make this. All the other ones were made dirt cheap. I think the biggest budget of all of them was like 5 million or something. Or no, what was oh goodness, what was Road Warrior? I believe that was the biggest budget. Road Warrior budget was 4 million Australian, so that wasn't that bad. So maybe it was Beyond Thunderdome. Beyond Thunderdome budget was 12 million. So yeah, the most expensive one that's had ever been made was Beyond Thunderdome for 12 million, and this one cost 154 to 185 million. This one, however, made $380.4 million at the box office. So it more than, it basically ended up doubling, which is what it needed. A little bit more. I'll be curious what Furiosa does. Let's see what Furiosa's budget was. The budget for Furiosa was 168 million. Yeesh. But yeah, right now it's only made 26 or whatever. Forbes says it's not shocking that Furiosa is struggling at the box office. People everywhere are very impressed or are very upset with the performance of Furiosa. Apparently, it ended up with 58 million total for the weekend box office. New York Times calls it a weekend box office dud. Huh. So here she's going to unhitch the giant ball of gas. I dig all these folks. They're like, I call them Tuscan Raiders before. They're like camouflaged into the mountains. Like they're out, the clothes they wear. We were talking about that last night, how you pick out your apocalypse war, like the stuff you wear in the apocalypse. They're clearly supposed to be blending in with the caverns and the mountains. And while in the middle of hiding during this they're in the middle of this trade-off, and Mad Max and the concubines are hiding, and one of the concubines goes into labor. Of course. This all feels like Fallout or Borderlands or whatever. Borderlands a lot like. I do dig all the rusted spikes that are on vehicles this time around. We didn't have that in the other movies. That was pretty awesome. The Charlize was trying to climb into the bottom of the vehicle as it was moving, and old buddy rode up on a motorcycle and did the drop down slide underneath it. These motorcycle bandits, they're wild, I tell you. This one's the hardest to ignore and look at the chat because there's so much visually constantly going on. That's always like, damn, that was a nice shot. Only the best fit my cunt, baby. Oh, Jesus. Has anybody seen my cunt? The question is, it's really hot in the desert, so why all the leather? I've wondered that too before. I figure everybody must stink, but it's probably the same reason like bikers wear leather. It's like when stuff's flinging at you while you're riding. It works like as the lowest form of armor. Like when you play a video game, your first armor is usually some kind of like leather, and then later on it's chainmail, and you get that thick stuff. So if I had to guess, leather is probably the most durable protection from the elements. But yeah, I do imagine everybody smells like an armpit. Was here a little while ago. Russell sent his regards. Oh, you guys still looking for my cunt, huh? Earlier, Nanette was streaming, and I heard her speaking, and she said, "How is my cunt going to give me money?" Good day, Ninja. Good day, Bruce. Well, maybe they should have held off on the release in the U.S. Releasing it at Memorial might not have been smart. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess you could second guess any release. I think people just kind of I have the same opinion that I have. It feels like a prequel to a reboot, and people weren't totally comfortable with the reboot, and getting them to accept it, took a lot of trust. So you're kind of asking them to trust again, to recast the character that people like and tell a prequel, which people often don't like prequels. And I don't know, especially now that we know they're building a bigger world with Wasteland and other stuff, it feels like kind of a cash grab. But people love, what's her name, Anna Joy Taylor. I never can say her name right. There's a good use of CGI when they're way outside of the car and they push all the way in through the windshield into the Immortan Joe's face. You couldn't do that normally with a crane or anything. So that's a worthwhile CGI shot. But yeah, Echo, I think guessing the weekend might be is something Warner Brothers is probably doing right now. Old David Zaslav is pacing back and forth trying to figure out how the hell they're going to come up with $300 million in the next couple weeks. I'm totally dressed like Slimestra Hyman from Guar. I appreciate. I didn't think there was going to be any Guar references tonight, so I thank you. Leave it to Lamonia. Boglins. All right. Well, welcome, Mr. Bones, the Boglin King. Tomorrow night I will be on Mr. Bones' channel, so be sure to check that out. He and I will be watching, oh God, what's it called? I already forgot the name of it. Why do I always want to call it Last Rites? What the hell the name is that movie? What's the name of that movie, Bones? And please don't say D's nuts. I will beat you to it. I will beat your nuts to it. My stuff. It's called Laid to Rest. Damn it. Thank you. I knew I'd remember. So tomorrow, Bones and I will be watching Laid to Rest. I have to watch it sometime between now and that show, so I at least have seen it once. But yeah, well, apparently the kills are very outrageous and it's very gory. It's got some decent people in the cast. Apparently there's a sequel that's also kind of cool and interesting. So yeah, tomorrow night I will be checking out Laid to Rest. If you're familiar with that film or you'd like to learn about it, drop by Mr. Bones' channel and hang out with us for a while. And Lamonia says, all right. Lay, huge Guar fan, seen them live 3 times, fake blood everywhere. Yep, same here, Russ, with Odorous. Oh my goodness, you people are, you smell like someone in a post-apocalyptic world. Lay to Rest. That's my guy, Bones. Lay to Rest. Ooh, and then she beat it too. Oh, you guys are all on it. Laid with my cunt. May and Lay Connection is coming too. Oh, they are they? Oh, hell yeah. That's what I like to hear. Have you guys seen Laid to Rest? Last week when Mayen was on with us watching Terrifier 2, it was a big hit. So doubling up on the sex appeal is a smart choice, Bones. We will all come. I don't even up. All right. I'll def come. So right now, Immortan Joe is riding in the car and Nux is talking with him. Mike Hunt is ready for tomorrow night, and Mayan's seen it. May brought the movie up last week, but it's one of my fave newer slashers. Yeah, I heard it was gory as hell. All right, so there's where Nux gets this mouth spray painted full of chrome. Shiny and ready to enter Valhalla. And then they use Rictus to just throw him onto the war wagon there. So I was looking at the cast for Mortal Kombat 2, and while the guy playing Shao Kahn is smaller than Nate Jones, but holy shit, he still looks bigger and scarier. Nate Jones is humongous, dude. I mean, if they're listing him at 6'10" in Wikipedia, I'm sure Vince McMahon said he was like 7'2" or something. Morning, Gareth. Video Tasties is here. Gareth, how many times have you seen Fury Road? A bunch? I bet he's seen this one a bunch. I bet he saw it in the theater or the cinema. Gareth, hi. Sup, Russ? Sir Gareth. Everybody's welcoming Gareth. Nate Jones is 6'10", 345. The guy playing Shao Kahn is 6'8", 320 and looks like a monster from a horror movie. I probably got another 50 to go. If I had to guess, I'm probably going 6'8", 270 right now, probably. Wisconsin winters make me fat, bro. I need to get down to 240 immediately. I'm going to have a heart attack. Let me see here. And so is Nathan Jones and Shao Kahn. All of us need to go cut the carbs. Have both laid to rest films on DVD. Yeah, I'd never heard of either of them. Like I said, I couldn't even remember the damn name 2 minutes ago. But apparently the second one is also good. I think Russell, you told me that Danielle Harris is in it, maybe. So we're currently at the 59:26 mark, 59:28, 29, 59:30. And there they've made Immortan Joe's monster truck flip over. And one of the brides has gone out as well. She went under the wheels. Did you see it? She went under the wheels. So as I was mentioning earlier before, with these women as the basically the MacGuffin of the movie, we can lose part of them. You know, if Indiana Jones, when he loses the Raiders or loses the Lost Ark, he goes and gets it back. Well, here, like if one of them dies, you know, it's like, oh, never mind. So Immortan Joe's holding her body. Is that the one with the shot leg? She was already injured then. Never mind. That was the damaged one. Nathan Jones got a big old Gatling gun on his own. Not a lot of guns in this so far. Mostly it's been spears and explosions. Oh, let's see. Just look up UK bodybuilder named Martin Ford. He makes Nate Jones look like a cute puppy. Is Martin Ford? What's his name? The Mountain? Because I know that guy's humongous too. Robert Strong? No, it's Helpfor Julius Bjornsson. That's the guy who plays the Mountain. Alias is Robert Strong. That's a fun alias. Nathan Jones for See No Evil 3. He would probably be good in that. Is Kane Dunn doing him now that he's a politician? Did he get reelected? Is he? I don't know. We like a thick boy, Don. Yeah, exactly. That's me right after the winter. Man, we get a few snowy days and I don't want to go outside, and cake sounds delicious. 3 or 4 and once in a cinema. That's Gareth. I knew he'd see it a handful of times. I believe this is my 5th time. So me and you are on the same boat. Did you ever see it in black and white? Or the, what's it called? Black and chrome. But carbs are delicious. I know, right? That's the problem. And especially if you're on a high protein diet, it's you got to have something in there just to make life worth living. Real Fifth Beetle, haven't you got work to do, Gareth? Nice to see you, Fifth Beetle. No Jones Martin, no Bones Martin Ford for seeing evil. The guy looks super scary. Martin Ford. All right, you talked me into it. I'll Google him. Yeah, that guy does look terrifying. You're right. 42, 6'8". Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he makes Nathan Jones look like a puppy. You'd have to see them next to each other. But yeah, that guy is mildly terrifying. 320, huh? I would have to get pretty huge. Hatchet Laid to Rest and Leslie Vernon came out around the same time. Love them all. Like to see a third Lay to Rest and the sequel to Leslie. I'd like to see a sequel to Leslie Vernon. I enjoyed that one. That was one I wasn't interested in, and then when I finally got around to watching it, I enjoyed it a lot. It's funny. Hatchet I never got into. None of them. Not Victor Crowley or Hatchet 1 or 2 or 3. I think I own the first 3 Hatchets maybe. And they just, I don't know, they're all right. They feel like a Wrong Turn or some other like similar type, wannabe horror franchise. Hatchet felt too homage. Like Terrifier feels like it's trying to be other things and pay homage to other things, but for some reason Hatchet kind of rubbed me the wrong way with the way it did it. I think people just love Kane Hodder so much they'll just do anything. Laid to Rest films are great. Yeah, watching it tomorrow night on watching the first one at least tomorrow night on Mr. Bones channel. So that'll be what time, Bones? 11 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 Eastern, somewhere around there, depending on weather. We usually try to go 9:30 Central, but usually either weather or some sort of insanity happens to us, and we start right around 10. He doesn't know who Martin Jones is. Japanese philosophers say man who seduces woman on hillside, not on the revel. I would say so too. The mountain is Icelandic. Yeah, that's probably why I had such trouble pronouncing his name. Bones, I agree. If Don is thick, I don't know what the fuck. We're all BBW. We're all BBMs here. Hello, Mike. Thickness varies. In Hunt? Mike Hunt? Can I have a wrench? Big Tony? I don't know, Tony. What are your skills, man? I know this crowd here. This is a all wrench crew. So I feel bad, Big Tony, that you're being denied. I don't know. Hang out for some chats, man. Become part of the crew. Ingratiate yourself to the audience. But anyways, thank you for being here, Big Tony. I like your horse. Yeah, we need a second Leslie Vernon movie. I do agree. We sell the wrenches for $100. I don't want you to dig Hatchet. It's like Horror Expendables. It's Cool Kane was sad when they took Jason from him, so they made him Crowley. Yeah, I don't know. The first time I saw Hatchet, it just felt like things I had seen before. Like it was all right. It wasn't. I mean, I don't hate them. I think I've seen Hatchet 1 twice, and I think the second and third one each once a piece or something. So here we've gone for day for night. We were talking about this last night too. You can film stuff during the day and then color correct it blue and pull a lot of the lights out and stuff and make it nighttime. So this is supposed to be kind of in this cloud heavy dusk blue world. That was one of my concerns when I watched the black and chrome edition. I was like, well, I don't know about how that blue part's going to look in black and white. Isn't it going to be extra dark? But it played all right. Especially the fire in the blue scenes, because the orange and the blue work so well together. And now they're all caught in this wasteland marsh. Let me see here. Yeah, Bones, I don't know. Some folks really love it. I'm in between on it. It's a lower level horror franchise to me, the Hatchet films. No stupid chat button, man. Oh, you're funny. Expert mod. I'm a fan of Hatchet also. Great kills. Oh yeah, I don't know. I think they're fun. I like it. It feels like a Friday the 13th type movie, but it feels like a clone of a Friday the 13th type movie. But he's also kind of, I don't know. Yeah, he just feels like all of them. He feels like Michael Myers. He's sort of a hodgepodge. So thank you, Tony. And I'm glad to have you here. Oh, folks are welcoming Ben Grimm. Ben always knows what's up. Hello, Ben. Ben, you a big Mad Max fan? I assume you probably are. Usually know what's up. You know good stuff. Echo says, Hatchet movies are fun movies. Had a blast watching them. Yeah, I don't know. It's never really, they caught with me. Some franchises don't. Like I say, I love the first Scream, but all the rest of the Screams, I'm like, eh. But there are other people who base their whole lives around Scream. They love them. Hatchet just never really my gig. So here they take the baby out of the one that died, the bride that died, and it's gone too. The baby's gone, and it was going to be a boy. So Immortan Joe's even extra mad because he wanted another son. But they do a good job of making it kind of gross, where like he's pulling the umbilical cord out, and playing with it and stuff. Like, and this is good, like storytelling. It gives Immortan Joe a reason to care, even beyond feeling like he's been stolen from. Because before he's just some dude who's had his women taken from him, but now he's like a angry man who's lost a son and whatever. It gives him more motivation. I was just talking Mad Max with my dad. I think I've only seen the original and Fury Road. My dad loves Thunderdome one, and we watched Thunderdome last night. Last night I was less enamored with it than I had been in the past. I enjoy Thunderdome, but I think Road Warrior is a better film, and I think the original Mad Max. I liked Beyond Thunderdome more than Mad Max until last night. After watching it last night, there was a lot of derivative stuff in there, a whole bunch of ripped off stuff from Return of the Jedi. Strangely. May, you like Poultry Guys? She does not. My favorite movie, Bones. Hey, Bones, can you post a link to your channel? Yeah, for sure, do that. There's Mr. Bones' channel. Oh, sorry about that, man. I posted a link to it. So there in the chat, if you're watching along on the replay, or if you're in the chat now, you can click on Mr. Bones' channel and sub him. We'll be there tomorrow, probably around 10:30 Eastern, 10:30 or 11 Eastern, and watch that one. Laid to Rest. It's going to be a new one to me, although I'll probably try to watch it after I watch this tonight. It'll probably be my going to sleep movie for tonight. Is Laid to Rest a good movie to watch right before you go to sleep? I don't think it is. I like the Mad Max video game that came out recently. I haven't played that. Have any of you guys played that one, the Mad Max video game? I bet it's cool. I mean, car games are cool and first-person shooters are cool, and that's probably what that mainly is. I knew you was going to beat me. Oh, there we go. Man, give me your answer. True, I'm all for a love of you. It won't be a stylish marriage. I can't afford a carriage, but if you look sweet upon a seat and a bicycle built for two. Came out in 2015. Hello, I got you, brother. Furious was great. Fave of the year so far. Welcome, Hitesh Gaba. Yeah, I haven't seen Furiosa. The reviews by the people in the community have been saying that it's a 7 out of 10. It's not a masterpiece, but it's not, it's slightly above average. It's taken a beating at the box office real bad. But welcome, Hitesh. Nice to have you here. I had it past it, but blam, LOL. Yes, it's a great movie to watch while you try and sleep. Laid to Rest. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because I was going to watch Pearl last night, and I ended up adding, whenever I do one of these streams, I usually go back afterwards and watch it on 1.25 speed and put chapters in. So the folks that watch the replay can skip to the topics they like. So I ended up putting chapters in last night's edition of Beyond Thunderdome and didn't see Pearl. So I was thinking about watching Pearl tonight, but I think I'd rather watch Laid to Rest before bed. So yeah, that might be my plan. Mayan is a big trauma fan. Mayan's been put through a lot of trauma by all of us. Her cunt especially. Damn it. Russell's a bike building for two. I'm the biggest trauma fan. Sure, Ninja. Where's Chick-fil-A? If it's the 40th anniversary of Toxic Avenger, I should do movies so far. A remake comes out this year. Peter Dinklage's Toxie True Story. That's what I've heard. Does that come out this year already? The Dinklage version of Toxie? I knew that they were remaking it. I figured if he was going to be in it, it was probably slightly a bigger budget than the old school version. Is Dinklage Melvin, I take it? Welcome, Hitesh. Yeah, right? It's nice to have new people here. Well, you are laying down to get some rest, so it makes sense, right? Laid to rest, right? Like, look at Jason. You're an enabler. I like that. Hello, I actually just got playing the Mad Max game and saw this in my feed. Well, look at there. Everything ties together. I take it you like it then if you just got done playing it? Or were you playing it because you were hyped about seeing the movie? Everyone loves trauma. Don, you a damn pre-watcher, LOL. Yeah, I like to be able to talk about the movie. I thought about not watching it and then watching it the first time with you tomorrow, so my reactions to all the gore would be genuine. But I like having some sense of what I'm getting into before audiences see me look at stuff. Dead. Oh, that whole mic thing. She here, just listen. Yes, it premiered at Film Festival last year. It should come out this year, but no release date yet. I've been hearing about it. Um, I know that Dinklage was excited to play a role that wasn't traditionally for him, and he was a fan of the film, so he felt honored to be in it and all that stuff. Nice. Trauma great. Oh, yeah, I'm very Mad Max build right now. The game's pretty okay. Why, if you don't like it, you will be like, it's late, I'm up. Let's watch this whack movie. I don't know. Usually when I'm going to sleep, I'm pretty I'm more accepting. Like if I stop at 7 p.m. and I put a movie on and then I start watching it and it sucks, and then around 8:30 I start being annoyed. It's like, oh, I wasted a bunch of prime hours. I could have been getting stuff done. But in bed at 2 a.m. or whatever, it's like there's nothing else going on in the world right now. So as long as whatever I'm watching is competent, I'll enjoy it. In general, I'm not a hater. Most of the time, I like most things. I just like some things way more than other stuff. Even the stuff it seems like I don't like, I just like it average. I very rarely hate stuff. We'll have to watch a movie I hate sometime. I don't know. They're pretty rare. Don't watch it, Don. I watched T2 with you for the first time. Oh, you did watch T2. You watch a bunch of movies with me for the first time. I enjoy that you let me talk over good movies. Don, let's watch Romeo and Juliet and cuddle. See, now you're talking. Lay knows to speak my language. Can we watch some schlocky movie and cuddle? Yes. I just rewatched all the Toxic Avenger films. A slice of pure deep fried gold. Yeah, I've only seen 3 of them, I think. I think I saw the first 3. Which one's Citizen Toxie? Is that 3 or 4? 4, maybe? Might have seen 4 of them. With a toxic waste dipping sauce. I watched Fury Road twice before Furiosa, so that's how much I love this series. Yeah, we've been doing the watch along this weekend. We watched Road Warrior the other night, and then Beyond Thunderdome last night, and then tonight Fury Road. I was debating whether I was going to see Furiosa. I don't know if I'll see it in the theater or not. I might go. I'll have to see what the biggest screen around here playing it is. So here they're in the marshland, and it's all blue, and the people are walking with sticks, and they have like stilts on and stuff, and they're wearing these like crazy, they look almost like giant birds or something. Once again, like just little tiny snippets of world building, you know. So there was fade to black at the 1 hour 15 mark. So there's 45 minutes left. Generally, you go fade to black on an act change, but I don't think this is the start of the 3rd act. I mean, I know they were doing it to show that he took a nap and he dozed off for a little bit, but generally when you go fade to black and then fade back in, it's supposed to show some sort of change in story. I guess they're just out of the marshland is what we're learning. Oh, let's see. Troma is great. Let's watch Romeo and Juliet and cuddle. Yeah, I agree with that. I will show it a second time because I loved it so much. For Trashy Tuesday, Ginger snaps. All the trashy films, man. All of them. Have some tater burgers first. I still haven't seen Tater Burger. I don't know if I'm up for Tater Burger in Tater City. Also need to watch Hearts of Fartness, the VR Toxic Avengers short. I didn't know they made that. I bet that's hilarious. Virtual reality Toxic Avengers short, especially since Dinklage is playing him. Toxic Crusaders. I'm one of the 10 people who love Beyond Thunderdome. Yeah, I enjoyed it last night. We were talking about it. I've enjoyed it my whole life a lot, but last night mainly I was noticing that there was a lot of rehash from other stuff or our reworked ideas. But when I think of Beyond Thunderdome, I think of it fondly. Tina Turner, what are you going to do? She's awesome. Did you know the liquid cylinder in the Prince of Darkness was not the devil, but more powerful anti-god? Learned that on Mojo 20 videos of devils in cinema. I didn't know that. Prince of Darkness is strangely one of my least watched Carpenter movies that I like. Like I don't watch The Ward, and I know Ghosts of Mars is divisive. Some people like it, some people hate it. I rarely rewatch it. But his other stuff that I love, I watch over and over and over again. So it's weird to me that Prince of Darkness isn't in that group. Thing, Escape from New York, Fog, Halloween, In the Mouth of Madness, Big Trouble in Little China. Like all of those I've just seen over and over and over again. But yeah, Prince of Darkness is always, I'll get to it. They Live. I've seen They Live more than I've lived. The Devil Was in the Mirror universe. Love trashy and obscure films. The day for night shooting in these movies is beautiful. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't work, but in here, the blue really works well against the sand dunes. A lot of times they do it in woods movies, and it doesn't quite look right. It looks cheap. But here, the day for night, I don't know, visually it adds to the color or something. That's a good observation, Nitesh. Can we go on Ninja a shout out for the best thumbnails in the world? Can we give Ninja a shout out? I'm assuming that's what it's supposed to be. Ninja does always have awesome thumbnails. He puts his head on stuff, right? He mixes himself in with the little thumbsies universes he's building. Those are dope bikes. That was clearly a CGI shot. They like pulled back from the desert through the car and into the window, and you could see the brides in there. Where was I? Yes, I do agree, man. Jinja is a thumbnail master. Tater Burger is healthy for you. How dare you blaspheme Prince of Darkness? See what I mean? Jason knows that. Like a lot of folks really love Prince of Darkness. For me, it's too weird. Like I understand The Thing, I understand The Fog, I understand Escape from New York. Prince of Darkness, I'm just perpetually like kind of confused at. But In the Mouth of Madness, I like, all of it makes sense to me. I don't know. Ward stars Amber Turd. Yeah, I only saw The Ward once. I was just kind of curious to see what Carpenter was up to. And then, I don't know, it was all right. It has kind of I don't want to spoil it, but it has an ending, an interesting ending or whatever that felt not that surprising. Jinja, TCM 3D versus Texas Chainsaw Massacre 13 versus Friday the 13th New Beginning on Battle World tomorrow. Uh-oh. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 13 versus Friday the 13th New Beginning. I would probably go Friday the 13th New Beginning. I don't know. That's a tough call. Well, let me go. What you guys think in the chat? Friday the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3D or Friday the 13th New Beginning? Who you got? Ouch. She would have gotten bad rope burn on Mike Hunt. Yeah, apparently you saw the part where she slid down the rope. Lemonia says, oh, my Lanta. Friday the 13th, right? All the way. TCM 30 is a turd. Yeah, I'm going to go Friday the 13th, too. Don't hurt Mike Hunt, please. It's been through enough trauma. Man, getting clever with the wordplay. Woohoo, did you? You guys need to be gentle with Mike. I guess I never really gave Zoe Kravitz in this any thought. Like, it's interesting that she's in it. I like that she's in it. I mean, she cool and all, but I don't know. Let's see what the current state of Zoe Kravitz is in the world here. She has 42 acting credits. She's been in a bunch of stuff. I don't think I ever realized how much stuff she was in. I always think of her as a Catwoman. No reservations. The Brave One, Assassination of a High School President, Birds of America, The Greatest, Jay-Z I Know video, 12, Beware the Gonzo, It's Kind of a Funny Story, Yelling to the Sky, Californication, X-Men First Class, is Angel Salvador? I don't remember her in that. After Earth, I never saw. Divergent, I never saw. Pretend We're Kissing, The Road Within, Good Kill, Dope. Dope I'd like to see. The Divergent series, Insurgent, Mad Max Fury Road, Too Legit, Portlandia, Allegiant, which is part of the Divergent series, Adam Green's Aladdin, Morris the Cow, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, the Lego Batman movie. She's Catwoman in there, too. I didn't know that. Huh. So she was Catman in the Lego Batman movie, and Catwoman in the new one. Interesting. Yves Saint Laurent, Kin, Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as Mary Jane, the High Fidelity TV series, Big Little Lies, And Batman in 2022 was her most recent film, where they have her listed as Selena Kyle, not Catwoman. Interesting. So now they're all sitting out on the sand dunes at night. And it's day for night. Everything's all blue. And Zoe Kravitz is staring up at the skies, and they're talking about the universe and whatnot, and the falling star, and they're like, that one's a satellite and all this. So it's a nice break in the action. We've got 1:23:18. So there's approximately 35 minutes left. So apparently they're all pregnant. So I like this old witch. She's pretty cool. I don't know. I mean to call her a witch, but she's keeper of the seeds. Keeper of the seeds. Melissa. She's been in 72 things. Whole bunch of old sci-fi and stuff. I don't think I see anything I recognize her from. Bellbird, Homicide, Cars That Ate Paris, Between Wars, 7 Ages of Man, Ben Hall, Ride a Wild Pony. I don't know why that was so hard for me. Do I Have to Kill My Child? That's a grabber of a title. Star Trek, Molly, 5 Mile Creek, Golden Glory, Studio 66, Brides of Christ, Good Vibrations, Distant Home, You, Me, and Uncle Bob, Police Rescue, GP, Big Sky, Fallen Angels, Komodo, Flipper. She was in Flipper TV series? Lost World, My Father Frank, Grassroots, Cheek to Cheek, Head Start, Farscape, Blackjack, All Saints, Snobs, Farscape, Mad Max Fury Road, Glitch, The Newsreader, 3,000 Years of Longing. That's a lot of longing. That's a long longing. And High Country, the TV series. So Melissa Jaffer, you rascal, you are. She's an actress and makeup department. Good for you. So shout out to the Keeper of Seeds. So here we have a lull in the action as they kind of discuss, and we get a little bit of character building. We feel like we're spending some time with them. But it's all just a break in the action before we get back to more car chases and explosions. Gonna turn back around and go the other way. Woohoo, Ginger. Amber Turd stained the ward for me. Oh, LOL. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I've ever really seen anything I like Amber Heard in. I mean, she's all right as Aquaman's girlfriend or whatever she is, but I don't know. Friday for me. Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Echo traumatized the heck out of me. Nah, Zoe Kravitz hasn't wowed me at anything. Yeah, she's there. I mean, she's pretty. She was decent as Catwoman, but I mean, I don't know. I felt like a lot of people probably could have played that role. I'm gonna go Texas Main. Oh, Ben like to go in contrarian against New Blood or Friday the 13th New Beginning. She's just there. That's all. Yeah, she's there. So there's a good hero shot. We see Max standing on a sand dune, and he's having one of his little schizophrenic attack things where he's thinking about people that he couldn't save. As I mentioned, I feel like Max is that's what his character's thing is. He wants to be a loner, and he wants to not care about people, but the fact that he always cares about people is kind of always what leads him on all these adventures. It's the downfall of us all, I say. Karen. I can't believe no one's ever took a dump on your bed before. I'm appalled. Then Bones prolonged the suffering. This morning I rewatched Assault on Precinct 13, the OG. The OG's a good one. Actually, I didn't even really mind the remake. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. That's a hoe take, Ben. What did I do, mate? Daddario won me over. Will you be that guy? Just had a Necrostorm phase. It has passed. What didn't you do is a better question. I can't eat tater tots anymore. There you go. Do your thing, cuz Ben Grimm. Highly quotable. Best quote ever. Or at least it had the real Leatherface, not a faker. Quotable, not good. Not good at all. Ginger and Ben, have you seen Malevolence 2? Oh, I didn't even know they made another Malevolence. Alexandria is in it. I get to see Trey Songz abs. Well, I don't think I could stomach it. Yes, she has on the cover. Those guys knew that would sell a lot more covers. Bones, love both films. There's 2. There's 3, Russ. I forgot, Bones. Oh, the 4 was clever, Russell. Well played. A lot more copies. So now they're having a big group powwow about how Immortan Joe's going to come for them. So they're going to have to head back. I like this plan. We can start again, just like the old days. Yeah, Mad Max looked beat to hell in this. I'm one to talk. I like beat to hell in this. Let me see. Bones is caught up. So there, Mad Max is saying some kind of redemption. And really, isn't that what all this is about? And there's the bro fist. They're in. They're the big I got you, bro handshake. Immortan Joe's outfit, the like clear armor, it makes it, I don't know, it looks gross in some way. It looks like the old when I was a kid, there was a model called the Invisible Man, and he had like a plastic outer like shell, and the inside of him were all these like little body parts, and you could see the pancreas and the liver and all that, and you put it together like a puzzle. And that's what Immortan Joe looks like. He's got like this clear suit on. He looks almost like someone out of Dune. They're like, my man, he's got a 3-piece suit on, but he's got his nipples cut out and he's got the nipple rings. So he always wanted to be like a banker or a mayor, but he also wanted to be a freaking heat. He's living his apocalypse to the fullest. Top 5 movie handshake. Ooh, that's a toughie. It might be. I think number 1's probably got to be what? Predator, Arnold and Carl Weathers. What else is a classic movie handshake? Let me know your favorite movie handshake in the chat or the comments below. Bones, this is the second film, a different title? He says, use Astapro. It's faster, bro. That's Mom to you. What happened? Free the nipple. Bereavement on DVD, Russ Malevolence 2, Bereavement on Blue. For sure, Predator number 1. Yeah, that's what I would think would have to be the most memorable handshake in movies. I keep waiting for other ones to kind of come to me. What is it in Top Gun at the end where he's like, you can be my wingman? He's like, no, you can be mine. And they like kind of dap up. That's kind of a famous reconciliation handshake at the end there. Does it have to be a full-on handshake, or can it be like a dap? Can it be the Need for Speed thing? This is all super cool where they like feed the engines from it with the little like old squirty bottles. So the dude's out on the hood like squeezing it into the blower to make it go faster. And then they race each other. The one guy's like blowing in his mouth and spitting it into it. And then you can see like the little RPMs zoom up. This is a crazy way to do a chase scene. Yeah, these dudes are going wild. This whole movie is just full of insane people doing insane things, and it's kind of amazing. And then the one dude on the bad guy's car, he's been maybe swallowing a little bit of gasoline, and he's kind of like freaking out and rolling around and losing his mind. He looks like he's tripping from it. But this is cool as hell, where everybody zooms ahead and then it kind of slows back down and they zoom ahead. Look at that. I knocked over the microphone. Yeesh. We talked about this last night, but what's your guys' favorite car chase movie? We kind of had a breakdown of some of the biggies. I think maybe this might be my favorite. Ronin is good. French Connection is good. Last night Russell brought up Bullet. Bullet's a pretty classic. Nobody brought up the Fast and the Furious movies. Like for movies based around cars, nobody had a favorite Fast and the Furious chase scene. Italian Job got a few votes last night. People like those Mini Coopers. Let's see here. Ginger says the Hot Shots handshake is a good one. Bone says, "Dap me up, bro." Mamacita if you nasty. Yeah, the Hot Shots handshake is pretty good one. Hi, mommy. Let's see here. Left my Bones, Janet, and Dead. Death Proof, Don. It's a handshake in Death Proof? Oh, car chase scenes, duh. Yeah, Death Proof is pretty amazing car movie. Or car chase movie. I would probably say Death Proof might be my second, maybe. Ronin is pretty damn good. I might go this, Death Proof, Ronin. That's a toughie. What do you call it? The French Connection's good because they like go under bridges and stuff, like through a city, so it's very like crowded and claustrophobic, and like the bridge pillars passing while they drive and stuff look really, I don't know, extra anxiety inducing. This does a good job because it's in the wide open. Like it feels almost like a sporting event or something, like a running back trying to run for a touchdown and everybody's chasing him. Like we see these big, huge open fields with all these cars like just barreling in, trying to catch up. The little like details on all the everything is just captivating. I've seen this movie 5 times now, and the little skulls on the back of the trailer with the full of gasoline. Like there's just lots of little details. The Immortan Joe logo all over the inside of the war wagon. I was digging on the spikes earlier. That makes everything look like a porcupine. Actually, they all look like the Game of Thrones throne, the swords throne. Just looks like if you sat on it, you would get stabbed to death. Italian Job, any of the Mad Max ones. Yeah, Italian Job people really like. Those Mini Coopers are cool because they're so small they can get in and out of it. Matrix Revolutions, I think it was. Or is it Reloaded is the second one, right? Yeah, Reloaded is that one has a decent car chase scene. That silver caddy with those like albino Jamaican voodoo ghost guys or whatever the hell they are. And here's where I was kind of talking about this the other night. The scenes where the dudes have like they're almost like pole vaults or something. They're like giant bars that they jump and get over onto each other's vehicle because they need to be able to attack vehicles in motion. And sorry, the seed holder or whatever her name is just got killed. The keeper of seeds. She's a very like Matrix-y character too. She reminds me of the Keymaker and the whole train guy that drives the train in Revolutions. That guy was the gyro captain and Jebediah from Beyond Thunderdome and Road Warrior. So there's somebody actually got shot with a gun. And there's another crossbow assault. So in Road Warrior, there was like, I think 3 or 4 crossbow deaths. 3 for sure, at least crossbow injuries. And then Beyond Thunderdome last night, there was a handful of crossbow injuries. This movie, everybody's 2, 3, and 4, a lot of crossbow action. That'll be the determination for Furiosa. How many people get assaulted by a crossbow? So here Max has been hit by a crossbow. The arrows, he put his hand up to protect his face. A lot of people don't think about that. That's like a defensive wound that they often find on people who've been shot or stabbed or whatever. Like there's some sort of, trying to protect yourself with your hands. So they try to shoot Max in the face with a crossbow, and he ends up taking the arrow through the hand, and it gets partially indented into his skull. So basically his hand is like stapled to his skull for a minute. But then he pulls it out, and he's back to fighting because he's Max. And now Max just almost fell off the roof of the moving vehicle, but Furiosa used the robot arm to grab him. Ooh, good futuristic outfit alert. This guy has a black hockey mask, but in the back he's got like a baby's head, like a little doll, like burnt into the back of his head. Looks like Malignant. There, and they've captured Zoe Kravitz, and they got her in one of the bad guy cars, and she knows enough to cinematically press her face up against the window while being held hostage. They're coming out with Constantine 2 with Keanu. Oh, that's pretty good. I liked Constantine 1. That was another one I didn't think would be very good at all, and I found it very entertaining. It looked like crap in the trailers. And a lot of people didn't really like it, and then it got a cult audience later on. I think I got some sort of special edition, something or other, of the physical media of it. It's a cool flick. I like when he I don't know what you call it, meditates or whatever, where he can go into hell and he can see the hell around you and stuff. I don't know. That's all cool to me. Is Mike Hunt in this movie? Yeah, it got ran over in the first act. I gassed watching that one Death Proof scene yesterday. The big stomp at the end, or the one where they show it 4 times from different angles and everybody gets killed. Had a Mini Cooper years ago. Our uncle, he brought it over from England with the steering wheel on the left side. On the right side, you mean? Have you seen the Conan O'Brien parody of Fury Road? I did, actually. That's hilarious that you bring that up, Ben. I often think of that. Where Conan's wearing the red, like, that's part of the thing with that guy. He's bungee corded to this big, like, trailer, and it's got nothing but war drums on the back, and then he's like hanging loose on it, and he's all connected, but then he's wearing like the old school like onesie, like the red onesie you wear at Christmas time, and it's got the butt flap. Like, he's got these bizarre long john pajamas on that makes him look extra crazy. And then his face is all whatever. But yeah, Conan played that guy and was playing guitar on there, and it looked, I don't know, pretty awesome. Was Andy maybe like Immortan Joe or something? Mike Hunt is sleeping bones. He has to work tomorrow. Mike Hunt has been working overtime. Your Hunt's busy. Is Ben Dover or Anita Cox in this movie? I'm not falling for that one. Could be. He did a Perry Fury Road where he's the guitar guy on the way to host Comic-Con. That's what it was. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I remember when it was out. It was pretty damn dope. Anyway, who the bleeding hell is Mike Hunt? Laugh my ass off. Ha ha ha. I'm dying. Our dear friend, Mike Hunt Clips. I have a video on Mike Hunt. Mike Hunt is bleeding too. Oh, Ben. Prayers. Sorry. What do you think this one is going to get flagged by YouTube? You think I'm going to walk into getting majorly flagged? Mike Hunt has a war wound. Pop a Tamp. Pop a Tamp. That's a good bumper sticker. Now available at 9 Movie Talk t-shirt shop. Pop a Tamp shirts. A Tampite. The Difference Angle of Death. Oh, the one, yeah, where where Kurt Russell or stuntman Mike Cunt decides to run over everybody, and they show it from every different angle. You see the one lady lose her leg, and the other one gets scalped, and yeah, that scene where they keep showing it over and over from all the different angles. That's a wild way to handle that. A lot of horror movies don't do that. Cool, man. Just that's KC's account, Russell. Yeah, KC gonna wonder where all these new subs came from. Yeah, you sent me Mr. Bones sent me a compilation clip from when we were all bouncing around with promoting our friend Hobbs GoFundMe, and the Spork stuff made it well into there. So Spork you very much, Mike. There's a lot of Mike Hunt on that channel, Russ. I hope you like it. How could you not? 5 stars. Bleeding means fuck. Yeah. My kind is an MHB roll channel. Yeah. It's casual. My kind is bleeding after that mother can. Monster can. I want to see that video, Don. Oh, it's floating around. My cunt gets around. Hey, what's his link, Casey? Interweb Kaiju. Yeah. Coin. Yeah, all right. Mike Hunt clips. There you go. So much talk about Mike and Hunt. This movie's got a bunch of like Jacob's Ladder. I often want to compare it to, like in the beginning when Tom Hardy tries to escape and they like pull him back. They take like this orange piece of rubber and like pull it over his face so it looks like he's trapped under some sort of weird membrane or whatever, insane in the membrane. And then like there, the guitar guy, what's his name? The Doof Warrior. That dude, like his face, he looks like one of the monsters from Jacob's Ladder. Like it looks, I don't know, like he lost his eyes or something. So here, Rictus, Nathan Jones, the aforementioned guy we talked about, the giant criminal. He's one by one pulling the brides out of the war wagon and putting them in his car. So he's got one already. And now Max and him are going to have a fight on top of the moving vehicle. This is a total train fight, like from old school cowboy movies where they like Zorro and all that, where they fight on top of the moving train. Let's see. Yeah, these two are just punching each other right now. Oh, Don, I do love the way you read our comments. Oh, for sure. The chat is the co-host of the show, so I have to give you guys. I can't let you guys just flounder alone. I gotta read everything aloud. Interweb Kaiju is Casey or Casey. There's the link for Casey, the Interweb Kaiju. Casey's one of the coolest dudes. I met him through the Hobbs Horror and Boneyard community, the Boglins. He's a Boglin member, and Casey's the coolest, man. Real chill, easy to talk to. He's cool as hell. Add his real channel too. Yeah, there you go. Casey the man. So they're in the middle of all these fighting. Furiosa's taking a beating, and her and Mad Max have like collapsed down, and they're both like just crumbled and defeated almost. But she shakes it off. She's badass. Don't worry. Of course, they have to make like the brides in like these white kind of like they're like wedding dresses almost, but they're like futuristic or whatever, broken poor people dresses. So they're just like cloth and all look different in their own way. But of course, they have to be white when everything's like filthy. They're supposed to look all pure and angelic. I kind of like the whole thing where Nux gets hooked up with one of them. Like I said, his character reminds me a very similar dynamic to the Gyro Captain. Like him and Max are buddies, but they're not like main buddies. They're just kind of like in this adventure together, and they enjoy each other's goofiness. But isn't that what all friends are, really? Fave Tom Hardy is Bronson. Well, Russell, I think that is a great time to go through Tom Hardy's filmography. So, Bones, be sure to type 2 hours later. Let's see what's going on with Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy is 58 credits. Wow, I would have thought he had a lot more. That's a surprising one. Mel Gibson last night, he only had like 57 or something like that. Like he was relatively low. Okay. Hardy's first film was he was on The Band of Brothers, was his first major show. He was on 2 episodes. If you've ever seen Band of Brothers, it's really good. Since yesterday was Memorial Day, I recommend it. There, the music, I don't know what you want to call it, music float was destroyed. And you see all the drums and guitars and everything. And there's this cool ass CGI shot where the steering wheel with Immortan Joe's logo on it comes spinning out, comes right into the screen, and we go fade to black. So 147.33. There's 13 minutes left. You start with me. Oh, all right. Tom Hardy's first film was Band of Brothers, and he was in Black Hawk Down, Deserter, Star Trek Nemesis, Dot the Eye, The Reckoning. I never saw The Reckoning. LD50 Lethal Dose. He was in Layer Cake. I didn't know that. I haven't seen Layer Cake in a while. I enjoyed Layer Cake. He was in Colditz. I saw that, but only once. He was in Sweeney Todd, The Virgin Queen, Minotaur, A for Andromeda. He was in the Marie Antoinette movie. I saw that on an airplane, and I almost walked out of the theater. Scenes of a Sexual Nature, Flood, Meadowlands, The Killing Gene, Stewart, A Life Backwards, The Inheritance, Oliver Twist, Sucker Punch. I don't know. Oh, I think that's a different Sucker Punch. Rock and Rolla. He played Handsome Bob. And then he did Bronson in 2008. If you haven't seen Bronson, that's excellent. That's a really good movie. Hard to understand. You might need to watch it with subtitles, but it's pretty damn good. The Wuthering Heights, Take, Perfect. He was in Inception. He was really good in Inception. He was in Sergeant Slaughter, My Big Brother. He was in Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. He was in Warrior. If you're a fan of MMA or you like Rocky type movies, Warrior is surprisingly good. I enjoyed it a lot. This Means War, Lawless, The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, he was. You adopted the dark. I was born in it, raised in it. Your arsenal, gratefully accepted. So that's my limited fake Tom Hardy. There's Locke. We talked about Locke last night. That's a really good character study. It's about a guy who spends the whole movie in a car. So if it doesn't sound like it would be good at all, but it's surprisingly good. He was in Child 44. And then he did Mad Max Fury Road, London Road. He did Legend. So he did Legend, which is the story of the Krays, and he plays both twins. The Krays were like these mobsters who were twins, and he plays both twins in the movie. It's a remake. They made it in the 80s, I believe, as well. Or whatever. They told the story originally in the 80s. So he did Legend after Fury Road. I didn't know that. He was in The Revenant. He plays John Fitzgerald. He was on the Taboo TV series. I never watched that. He was in Dunkirk. Oh, yeah, I do remember him in Dunkirk. Then Venom, Capone, Venom Let There Be Carnage, Spider-Man No Way Home as Venom. He was in Peaky Blinders. He's good in Peaky Blinders. The Bike Riders. And he plays Big Brother on the 1984 podcast series. So apparently they're doing a podcast about 1984 and he plays Big Brother. I've never seen anybody get a podcasting credit. Fascinating. So that is Tom Hardy, 2 hours later. I don't know. What's your favorite Tom Hardy? He's really good in Locke. I think probably my favorite is maybe Bronson. I don't know. Dark Knight Rises is pretty awesome. So here, Max, they drive the monster truck back, and he comes out and surrenders. And there we see Immortan Joe's dead, and the crowd celebrates. It's Immortan Joe. He's dead. Immortan Joe's world is awesome. The whole cool cavern on this, it's a cliff, and there's all these little holes built into it, and they have these cranes that lower things up and down, so it looks almost like a video game. And there they rip apart Joe's body. And there's 4 of the 5 brides, and Furiosa's still alive, even though she's missing an arm. She's back. Let them up. So the crowd begins chanting, let them up, let them up. So this whole movie, they drove away from where they're at, and then they came back to where they're at. That's pretty much the whole plot, except there's 9 million other deep layers to it if you want to get that far into it, or you can just watch people drive left and then drive right. Oh, let's see here. People are pouring in. Oh my. There's oh my goodness. Look at all these folks I missed. Russell says his favorite Tom Hardy is Bronson. I spent all day on my account because of Sandler and Sandberg, May. The Sandberg connection. Already subbed to Interweb Kaiju. Oh, good. I really want to check out Legend with Tom Hardy. Yeah, Legend's a good one with the craze. 2 hours later. There it is. The first time you put it in there, I thought it said 2 hours late. Like you were confused, so I didn't read it right. But ever since then, I'm on your tip. Sorry to be on your tip. Get my count off your tip. Hoot hoot. Hey, our friend Patrick, have Cheetah Will View is here. Nice to see you, Patrick. Patrick's always up late. Hey, it's 3:20 in the morning. What's your internet doing working? Hey, Cheetah, Boneheads Assemble. Welcome, Patrick. Folks are saying hello. Pound Cake. Hello, man. Who's pounding cake? Pound that cake. You guys are really going to town on that cake. Lawless and Legend playing both Cray brothers. One with glasses was a crazy guy. World of Enzo. Hello. Welcome, someone from Twitch. We also always simulcast these on Twitch. So if you're a Twitch person, be sure to look for Night Owl Movie Talk on Twitch. But it's always nice when someone pops up from Twitch that isn't trying to sell followers or whatever. So welcome, Enzo. How are you, Pat? I noticed you weren't on the nights. Looking at the married couples in the chat. Pound cake. So there, Furiosa ascends to the overlook where Immortan Joe used to look down on everybody. And hold on, I missed the quote at the end there. Where must we go? We who wander this wasteland in search of our better selves. The first history man. So where must we go, we who wander this wasteland looking for a better? So directed by George Miller. That's the end. We'll play You Might Also Like in just a second. Who else we got here? Look at the married couples in the chat. Pound cake. Hey, but you leave mine and Lamonia's relationship alone. Hey, Mr. B, Pat, Lay, Russ, Pugwall is here. My friend Pug. Nice to see you, Matt. Mike Hunt, pounding cake. Yeah, my copy of The Damned didn't play in my player. The Damned player? Hey, Pugwall. Well, damn, Pat. Pug. Adult content rated 18. Exactly. You better be careful of these cake poundings. Hey, Pugwall. But I will be back. Hey, Patrick, next stream I'm going to mention some films with the devil in them. Some in black and white. Ooh, nice. We Are Venom. So is that your vote for Tom Hardy? If I picked one, probably Lawless. Really? I don't think I've ever seen Lawless. I've seen most of his films. I don't know. Dark Knight Rises is pretty damn good. He's good at Inception. I still haven't seen Venom either. Lock his top drawer. Lock the top drawer. Russell, IFC Midnight has lots of films with the devil in them. Yeah, they do. It's 4:20, Russ. Oh, it is 4:20. It was 4 minutes ago, but yeah, there we go. It was 3:20 when she said it. So yeah, she's damn right. Good call on Locke. Pat, IFC has a new slasher I can't wait to check out in A Violent Nature. Oh yeah, I did see In A Violent Nature. Wasn't that coming out like in a week or two or something? Like I saw, IFC always shows me stuff and I get excited. They're like, it'll be out in April or whatever. And it's like, well, damn it. Warrior is fantastic. Warrior is really good. Yeah, if you're a fan of boxing or of MMA or anything, even wrestling, it's a good, like, it takes two characters and pits them to a point where they have a match. It's cool. In A Violent Nature looks great, but it won't beat The Coffee Table for best kill of the year. I need to see The Coffee Table. You guys keep going on about that one. I got to see Laid to Rest. I almost call it Last Rites again. I'm twitching now. Too much caffeine. Did you drink a Monster the wrong way? That's been going around. I don't know what Sin Table, but Nature has this yoga kill everyone is talking about. Yoga kill. They want to tear us apart, right? We won't let them lay. Hey, Matt, mate. Love the black metal group Venom. Me too, Russ. So Venom appreciation. All right, now we can get to play You May Also Like. If you enjoyed Mad Max Fury Road, you might also like Mad Max 2 The Road Warrior, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, Dune Part 2, Hitman Agent 47. I never saw that Hitman. I saw the other Hitman. X-Men Days of Future Past, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Immortals, Doomsday. They recommend Doomsday at the end of all these Mad Max movies. You kind of have to. It's a Mad Max ripoff kind of. War for the Planet of the Apes. 9, the animated movie. I never saw that one. It always looked good to me. It's intriguing. They always push Predators on here too. I never know why. Watchmen, we've already watched that on the channel. If you're interested in watching Watchmen with me, that's in the catalog of past rewatches. So there's Lawless 2012. I'm going to have to add that to my list right now. Terminator Salvation, they always compare that. Terminator Salvation is by far the most Mad Maxy of all the Terminator movies. Maze Runner Scorch Trials, never seen a Maze Runner movie. Skyfall, The Expendables, I wouldn't lump Expendables in with this. I'm assuming they just like action. The RoboCop remake. The RoboCop remake wasn't bad. I don't dislike it. I don't like it as much as all 1 and 2 of the originals. X-Men's Origins Wolverine. Ex Machina. Ex Machina I could see, especially with Furiosa and her robot arm. The A-Team. Rambo. Aliens. Escape from L.A. Escape from L.A. a little bit, because like I say, Snake Plissken is a bit of a Max Rockatansky type character. Hellboy, The Golden Army, The Expendables 2, and Matrix Resurrections. They're just trying to get anybody to watch Matrix Resurrections. Please watch Matrix Resurrections. What do we have to do? Oh, there was a Cape Town unit. Where are we at here? I see Mikey's here. Hey, down everyone in the chat. Cheers. Mikey, cheers to you, my friend. Mikey, a friend of the channel, awesome genius. Mikey, you like Fury Road? Is it your jam? Hey, Mikey. Mike Hunt has me saying coffee table in Spanish 100 times a day on his video. Ay caramba. Yo, Mikey's more. Get Mikey. Lamonia. What are you watching on the Boneyard tonight, Mr. Bones? Bones, Lamonia, Mayanne, and I will be watching Laid to Rest on the Boneyard tonight. Thank you for asking, Patrick. Death Race would be good too. Yeah, I watched Death Race 2000 on the channel right the night Roger Corman passed away. We watched it recently. I need to rewatch Death Race. What is it, 2050 or whatever? I don't know. Jason, the Death Race series, except 2050 would be a fun watch. Hey, Mikey. Yeah, so check the back catalog. You can watch the old classic Roger Corman one. Last night, I erroneously called it Death Sport 2000 instead of Death Race 2000. It's sometimes looking at the screen and looking at the chat all at once. The old duder's brain gets fried. Hey, Patrick, Mikey the legend. Hey, Ben. Hey, Mikey, mate, everybody, how are you? Nice to see you all here. So I thank you for joining me for watching this in the third part of our Mad Max watch along to celebrate Furiosa weekend. I think we watched the 3 best ones. I think. I don't know. We might need to watch Mad Max again. We'll see. Maybe at a later date. We'll revisit Mad Max when Furiosa comes out on streaming and watch them both. I got big plans for the future. Matt, how are you? Russell, you rule. Yeah, Russell does rule. All the people in my chat rule. That's why you guys are the best. Every time I come on here, I get to hang out with you guys. That's the main reason I do this. So I thank all of you. Gareth, Video Tasties was here. Patrick, Have Cheetah Will View. Mayanne, Lamonia, Mr. Bones, Russell, Pugwall being here. I appreciate Pugwall. Patrick says he watched Signs last night. It held up okay. Yeah, I enjoyed Signs. That one, last time I saw it, it held up well. We've been talking about Mel Gibson movies with the other Mad Max films. So a lot of people dig Signs. I like Beyond Thunderdome, Tina Turner. Yeah, Tina Turner rules. I like the whole Master Blaster thing and the whole the weird kids in the cavern, the Captain Walker segment. But yeah, that's been our trilogy of Mad Max films. I thank you for enduring them with me. This is the first time I've done anything like this where I've watched plenty of movies and then another movie connected to it, but I usually space them out with other films. The first time I've taken you guys on a 4-night trip of one title or one IP. That's the word I'm looking for. I was going to call it a brand. Me also, seen her live 3 times. She's talking about Tina Turner. We don't need another hero. I'll be your private dancer, your dancer for money. What's love got to do with it? All the questions she asks. Russell, that's awesome. My dad saw her once. So Tina Turner talk in the chat. Feel free to let us know how many times you've seen Tina Turner in the comments on the replay. And It's 3:30 a.m. Central Time, which means 4:30 Eastern. I think this is a great time for us to wrap up. So I thank all of you for coming and hanging out and watching Mad Max with me. I'll see you tomorrow on the Boneyard, Mr. Bones channel. We'll be watching Laid to Rest. And I, of course, have to wish all of you green grass and high tides forever. Adios, amigos. Have a good night.